If you are considering taking on the backlog burning, the deadline is August 9th. That's your last chance to get in touch with me and let me know that you've successfully completed a backlog burn. And basically what that means is you do 4 weeks. I think that's 28 days. Is that the math on that? 4 weeks where you do not spend any money on entertainment for yourself. And you can interpret it however you want. It's very loosey-goosey, and it's all on the honor system. And if you do that, then your name will be celebrated in a video on the Christian Geek Central YouTube channel, and you'll also get to choose your choice of one free download product from spiritblade.com. So I just wanted to remind you guys of that. If you haven't started your backlog burn yet, check your calendar. Again, your deadline to let me know that you have completed yours is August 9th. So take a look at your calendar and have fun. christiangeekcentral.com. Favorite sci-fi movies. So rather than just list them off, I put a few down here that I knew I'd want to talk about. Dark City would be one of my absolute favorites, right up there with the Matrix trilogy. And I think probably now I would enjoy watching it more than the Matrix trilogy because I haven't watched it to death like I have the Matrix trilogy. It came out before the Matrix and has a lot in common with it in terms of its, especially the first Matrix movie, in terms of the reality bending stuff and one person kind of being a chosen one who's awakened to awesome levels of power. And it's just very dark, gothic kind of sci-fi. Oh, Mad Max, which is much more recent, and I specifically mean Mad Max Fury Road. Wow, what an incredible movie, and how much character they get across with so little dialogue and with such strange dialogue, and how much world building and character development they do at the same time. That is no small feat. I am not a fan of world building. I find it boring, in books especially. But when you can combine that and make the world building part of the character building and character development, oh man, that's a really great sci-fi movie. Moon. It's hard to talk about this movie without spoiling it, so I can't really say much at all about the story. What I will say is that there are some neat visual effects in there, despite it being a small movie. I love it when small movies like that can really impress me visually by doing some effects that are simple, yet very effective. It's also very character-driven. It's a sci-fi drama. I don't want to say more than that, but I would just replace any spoilers with an emphasis that it's definitely worth watching. It is definitely worth watching. If you like, especially if you like sci-fi drama, and I wouldn't say it's quiet, but it's not boring. I found it very compelling. Sucker Punch. That was a Zack Snyder movie. If you're not a Zack Snyder fan, you're probably not going to like Sucker Punch. But for some reason, he makes movies that just resonate with me, both emotionally and then in terms of spectacle and in terms of just the cool visual ideas. And then the Matrix trilogy, which I've talked about before. Bum bum ba da da bum 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 ba da da bum bum. Meet neat no 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 neat neat dong. Okay, it's about 10:30 right now, and this is the part of the marathon where I just stopped talking very much. There's nobody really in the chat anyway that I can see. Now I just focus on getting in a gaming groove and staying awake. And, you know, it's 10:30. Normally I wouldn't be at this zone. Normally this zone comes about an hour or two from now. But I've just been feeling it a lot more. Feeling the fatigue and the sleepiness a lot more this time than last year. So I still have concerns about making it through the night, and yet I've also kind of hit a little bit of a groove where I'm just kind of accepting and getting used to the state of sleepiness while gaming. Alright, time to say goodnight to my lady. Okay, back in it to win it.
This is it, heroes. This is the end.
Yeah, I don't want to do this boss fight right now. Just too repetitive, too monotonous. And I can't do repetitive and monotonous right now. Boy. Hey Garrett, how you doing? Yeah, this is Skyrim Special Edition. As your question implies, the visual overhaul is not like a huge, stunning, mind-blowing kind of thing. But actually, the thing that I was hoping for even more would be improved and that is the load times. The load times are so much faster. It's really nice. Really helps keep the momentum of the experience going forward. I did see Doctor Strange. Yeah, it was solid. Hey, kiddo.
My tummy is hurting.
It's hurting. Okay, let's tell Mommy about it. Oh, that's really interesting. So you say that apparently a Biola graduate directed Doctor Strange. I'm curious to see your review about it. Apparently you went for some spiritual formation stuff. I wouldn't have thought that from watching the movie. Not that it had, a bunch of bad ideas in it. It was just kind of a mixed bag, but I mean, I don't know how you do a movie about Doctor Strange and really kind of uphold a Christian theology above other, worldviews. But as far as like his character, that's one thing that I did really like and that stood out to me about the movie is that there was a central theme of abandoning selfishness in Doctor Strange's story. Definitely had that kind of stuff going on. I'll say this, I was surprised that it didn't have a whole lot more just kind of bad worldview stuff in it, given the Eastern mysticism that Doctor Strange naturally springs from. So, in that sense, retroactively, I could see potentially a restraining hand that was kind of de-emphasizing a lot of the specific Eastern philosophies that Doctor Strange, the character, is inspired from. There was definitely a de-emphasis of those things. It was pretty vague, in terms of how they treated magic, Is the new Skyrim worth it? That would be hard for me to answer for anybody but myself. For me, it's totally worth it because I love open world RPGs, and I vastly prefer fantasy over like post-apocalyptic, like Fallout 4. So, there's not an Elder Scrolls game coming for a long time. They haven't even started developing. But I mean, I also had money set aside where I'd been saving for a while and not buying any games for a while, and so I had the money to kind of risk on it because I was thinking to myself, I wonder if I'll just buy it and like play it for 5 hours and go, yep, that's Skyrim, and then be all done. And I was prepared to kind of take that risk. And for some people that might very well happen, but that wasn't the case for me. I was kind of surprised even that I was like, oh my gosh, it totally has its hooks in me again. And the thing that made the big difference to me was the load times. And going back now and playing Fallout 4, Fallout 4 has those crazy long load times that Skyrim on Xbox 360 used to have. And now playing Skyrim on PS4, it's like, okay, forget the visuals, because I mean, you notice the visuals maybe, like at least I did when I first started playing. I was like, oh yeah, this has some nice upgrades. But after you've been playing it for a few hours, you forget that it does look a little bit better than the old Skyrim, and like you weren't even sure when you first looked at it. So, but the load times, for me, totally worth it, especially since I'm not interested in playing it on PC, which would be the other way to get your load times reduced. You know what? I'm not sneaking in. This is just a hit, right? I don't gotta be sneaky. Okay, close your eyes, kids. Close your eyes.
Hurry up, gutter snipes.
What happened to my hair? Is that because I started turning into a vampire? What happened to my hair?
We love you, Dark Brotherhood.
We love you too, children. You're okay. You're okay. Don't freak out. It's okay. It's okay. Let's talk about this. Constance, hey, Constance, settle down. It's okay. Settle. Let's just talk about it. Hey, Cody! Yes, I am a brutal murderer. Yeah, I contracted vampirism, and I was like, bring it on. That's one thing that I enjoyed from my first playthrough, is being a vampire. It fits really well with being a sneaky thief and like an assassin and stuff. And I'm going kind of the same route this time, except less emphasis on fighting and more emphasis on sneaking and thieving, and then also some magic stuff. Hey, Image! Welcome back! It's crazy to think that you've had a night of sleep since I last talked to you. I want a night of sleep too. I want to be in the I want to be in the Dark Brotherhood. Part of me's like a little bummed that the mods are so limited on PS4, but they're they're still fairly limited in terms of file size on the Xbox One, so I mean, I just kind of determined I'll get this for a streamlined console experience of playing the game again, and to play it through with a kind of slightly different class focus, and that's enough variety for me. And then eventually when I want to do like the full overhaul mods where it's a completely new campaign and stuff, you know, I'll just buy the PC version. I've got a nice controller that I can use for PC. Well, actually, PS4 controllers now work with PC. Although I think you need Windows 10, and I only have Windows 7. Yeah! Hey, it's the first time I'm mining. What the crap happened to her hair? Is that because she's a vampire? That is no good. That is a crazy bald spot on her head. Come on. I am not into that. That's gotta be some weird bug. Well, I do prefer first person anyway.